What's up, everybody? I am DJ Kazzeo, and welcome to Talkin All That Kazz. Now, what is Talkin All That Kazz? Real quick, breaking it down, before I even get to that, let me tell you this. You want to know anything, you want to connect with me on social media, go to this address right here, www.djkazzeo.com, alright? All my stuff's up there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that good stuff is up there, okay? Now, for 27 years, over 27 years, I've been hosting a weekly radio show here at 90.9 FM KHTC in Salinas, California. Every one of the shows I've ever done that's in my library is now online. You can go to this address right here, mixcloud.com/DJ_Kazzeo to hear all the shows, all the music, all the interviews, everything. Okay? Now, speaking of interviews, maybe you don't have the time to go to Mixcloud and listen to the full shows, because there's thousands of hours of stuff to listen to. If that's the case, this is what Talkin All That Kazz is for. I've isolated all the interviews, taken the interview clips, put them in video form, and I'm posting them up here on YouTube for you guys to check out in a shorter time, alright? So you can just go, pick out whatever interview you want to check out, and here it is, okay? So, without further ado, let's see what I got in store for you this time around.
This is KHDC, Chular Salinas, 90.9 FM, and K281BR Hollister, Radio Bilingüe, National Latino Public Radio Network.
Esta es KHDC, Chular Salinas, 90.9 FM y K281BR Hollister, 104.1 FM, Radio Bilingüe, la red nacional de radio pública latina.
That is indeed what you're listening to right now. We are 90.9 FM KHTC Radio Bilingüe here in Santa Cruz and Monterey counties, 104.1 FM out there in San Benito County, and
Wednesday. Whoa, hold on. Let me back it up because I want to say it twice. WednesdayRec.com, because the whole world, you can tune in and listen to our next guest that's about to come up.
There you go. Getting it all in one breath. One breath. We got to go to the phones right now. Very special guest joining us. Man, this is big right here. This isn't no small time feature right here. This is the main event, if you will. Yo-Yo joining us on the line. Yo-Yo, you there?
It's the West Coast Diva for West Coast Wednesdays. What's up, fellas?
That's right. How you doing tonight?
I am doing amazing. What about yourself?
Man, just or go ahead, V-Dog.
Oh, pretty good, but it's crazy times right now, so we're doing all we can right now. So
yeah.
I wonder, how are you holding up with all this madness?
Oh, I am bored out of my freaking mind. I'm bored out of my mind. I'm ready to start jogging. I'm noticing, I'm eating way too much, not exercising. It's just not good.
It's crazy. That was one of the things I was going to ask you. I mean, being that you have this new project that you're just dropping now, and you're starting to and promote it and everything. How does something like this completely just wreck your whole itinerary?
Yeah, it's a bummer. However, I understand the seriousness of what's really going on right now. Mm-hmm. So many people have lost their lives, so I get it. I could take other meals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. A lot of people, not only myself, I mean, it's hard enough for entertainers, but everyone is feeling the same. So, I'm just laying low and trying to obey.
It's really weird. It's a situation where, yes, obviously it's a serious situation. As you said, people are dying. But the other thing that's really ruining it for people too is you have so many people acting out of panic and not out of logic.
Right.
So,
did you take all the toilet paper?
No, it wasn't me. Was not me. Was not me. But yeah, I mean, and it's you go and you see these reports of elderly people going to the store and the shelves are empty. It's where's the humanity?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
You know, I mean,
You're right.
it's just crazy. But I mean, you know, if we wanted to get into a whole dialogue on that, we could just turn on CNN and watch that for a couple hours, and we'd be good. But we're here to talk about, as you said, the West Coast diva, original, you know, female on the West Coast scene, Yo-Yo. So we got to go back. Talk to me about, you know, being part of Ice Cube's first album when like there was so much controversy going on with him at that time, being that he had just left NWA and there was all this hostility going on. I mean, how is that for you, a new artist jumping in to that environment?
You know, I knew nothing about it. I did learn of the tension, but I was just excited. You know, I really didn't understand. I was fresh out of high school, really never understood the dynamics of hip-hop or the demographic or where we were going, where we weren't like. You know, for me, it was NWA was the closest, biggest stars next to me. And, you know, and working with Ice Cube was such a thrill. It wasn't until we were planning to go over to the East Coast to perform. That was all the tension. Everybody was so, like, amped up, like, you know, I didn't never know about any beef, so everybody was just really, like, you know, the energy was just, you know, racing. But we went over there, killed it. We did 2 shows at the Apollos. I mean, and those are 2 epic nights. I mean, it's a night I'll never forget. They were throwing money on stage. I mean, it was just electric. And, you know, if you know anybody who was ever there, they'll tell you, you know, it was just, I mean, the fear and the excitement and then the crowd, it was a bomb. We went up there and blew New York to pieces.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's crazy. That's crazy. So you were kind of like bright-eyed, bushy-tailed about it at first. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, you were just excited to get on, you know, and not knowing about the tension. That's nuts. But yeah, no, that's. And
then I learned of the tension, and then Q comes out with his bat, like, when they good for nothing, you know. It was just dope. It was the dopest sugar honey iced tea you could ever drink.
So then the only question is, how was he towards you during all of this? It sounds like he was pretty cool, right? I would imagine.
Yeah. No, we hit it off originally cool. I mean, you know, straight off the top, he laid the laws, laid the rules. You know, it was strictly business. And he handled himself like that at all times. So, you know, it was really like a brother and sister.
Nice.
How exactly did you guys make the connection? Did somebody bring you to him, or did he just learn about you, or how did it all happen?
Yeah, I was the best on the West. Hey, they couldn't play with my yo-yos in. No, this boy T-Bone, who was leaving was a part of, we went to school together, T-Bone and I, who later became a member of the Lynch Mob. Yeah, he told Cube about me. Cube was looking for a female artist. And we connected. And shortly after we connected, we were writing rhymes. Right.
And then the next
had this big idea.
The next thing that we get from you is the Make Way for the Motherlode album, the debut album that comes out in '91. So
yep, we got Stomping to the '90s in 1990.
Right.
And the album came out in April of '91.
Around there, yeah.
So, I mean, talk to me real quick. I mean, what was the overall intent with that debut album, and do you think that it lived up to what you intended it to?
You know, working on that album was something I never knew how big it could get. I mean, you know, I knew what I wanted to represent and bring in Del the Funky Homo Sapien, along with Ice Cube, Pat Charbonnet, who was managing us both at that time, and Sir Jinx, with all these great ideas. It helped me see a bigger vision for myself, you know, with the, it's me, the brand new intelligent black woman, all that. It just helped. It helped heighten. Here I was, a young girl fresh out of high school. You know, I had never been to Chicago, Atlanta. You know, I was strictly a L.A. chick. I mean, you know, I probably went to Texas and Vegas.
Right.
You know, but traveling around the world wasn't big for me. So they helped me create this big vision. It was more than what I expected. However, I didn't know what demographics would listen. I didn't know who would listen to my music. You know what I mean? I didn't know the impact.
Right. So what kind of nuances did you take away from that first album that you implemented in subsequent albums?
just being, standing up for women, which was something I always wanted to do, just to be the voice of women.
Mm-hmm.
It was just male dominated. We were growing up to guys just, we were dissing women in every kind of way, with the male dominated industry, and I took that throughout every record and everything that I done and wanted to do, just the fact that I, was going to be the voice for women. I wanted to be the voice for women.
No doubt, no doubt. And we should also mention, too, in 91, you had a nice little cameo in Boys in the Hood, the movie.
True. Yeah.
Hey!
Hey!
And the Mama Don't Take No Mess songs on the soundtrack.
Yep.
Right,
yes.
right. And also, I believe it was 91, too, you had a little quick shot in Juice.
Yes.
And
I went all of these places. I went with you. I met John Singleton. I just, funny talking, saying, "Hey, where's my part?" Wind up getting that part. Same thing with you. Yeah, same thing with you.
Right.
Nice.
I went with Pac and wind up getting in it.
So, you mentioned a second ago how when you went to the East Coast, you noticed the hostility that was going on. It's interesting to me because it seemed like Ice Cube had, brought in the Bomb Squad to produce that debut, his first album, kind of like to bridge the East and West, and there was still like animosity towards him out there. Or?
No, it was the best thing he could have done.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't know. I mean, okay, we loved the Bomb Squad, but who was, we didn't know if they would still love Cube.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it worked out well. It was the best thing he could have ever done.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That America's Most Wanted album is so classic in so many ways.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Including this little track on there called "It's a Man's World."
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Very cleverly done.
Yeah, going back and forth with him on that. I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, was that a weird thing to be your debut, or were you like, I can do this, let's go?
Yeah, no, I mean, I was very cocky then and and confident. So, no, it wasn't hard at all. We had this, brother and sister kind of relationship. So it was almost like, it was perfect. It was perfect.
It definitely was. It definitely was one of the definite highlights of that album. So I think I want to go back and play just a little bit of that. We'll take a quick break, and as long as you still have some time left, we'll come back and we'll talk some more about obviously the new project, the Out of Control, as well as some of your more known acting roles that were very entertaining,
Yes.
if you will.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
I think you know too. So Yo-Yo, I want you to hold on the line. Let's take a quick break and hear some Ice Cube and Yo-Yo. It's a man's world. 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 It's a man's. There you go, man. Back in a place right here. It is 90.9 FM KHTC Radio Bilingue. Salinas, Santa Cruz, Monterey, 104.1 FM, Hollister, San Juan Bautista, and South Gilroy.
And still on WednesdayRec.com. Live, baby.
Exactly, man, exactly. Going back to the phones, catching back up with our friend here, Yo-Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
Yes.
that song right there, It's a Man's World. It's funny because as I'm listening to it while we're playing it, it almost seems as though that John Singleton heard that song and then wrote that scene that you were in with Ice Cube when you were going to get food in Boys in the Hood. It seems like a continuation.
Nah.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm wrong.
Nice.
It's all good. Not the first time, but it just seems, because it's like the way you guys are going back and forth on that song, it seems like, that inspired that little dialogue between him and you in the movie.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
That's
Well,
all right. It's all right.
I interpreted it wrong. It's not the first time.
It's all good. It's all good. We're good.
I mean, I pretty much made a career. I pretty much made a career.
I mean, who knows?
I pretty much made a career out of misinterpreting women. So
Oh,
it's not the first time. Will not be the last time.
I do that on a daily basis, Kaz. It's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Exactly. So we're sitting here talking to Yo-Yo, and great many things. We talked about the first album, Make Way for the Motherlode, in the last segment, as well as her debut with Ice Cube on It's a Man's World from the America's Most Wanted album. Your small cameo in Boys in the Hood and Juice. But then somewhere in the mid 90s, you got a recurring role on Martin.
Yep. There's Shanae.
Yeah, your character's name was Kilolo.
Yep.
Kilolo. Close to Yo-Yo. Kilolo. Hey, Yo-Yo. Yeah, so Martin, Martin was working on doing some interludes on my album.
Mm-hmm.
And Cube had him do some interludes on the album. And Martin was telling me, yo, I'm coming out with this show. It's called Martin. And, I want you to play a role. I'm going to create a role for you. I want you to be Shanae's homegirl. I'm going to call you Kilolo,
Yep.
And months went by. I mean, possibly a year. I don't know. I can't remember. But I got a call from Warner Brothers. And I thought I had to audition. I went in. They said, no audition necessary. The role is yours. So I went in. I did the one part. And then they was like, oh, no. They kept calling me back. And it was like, oh, it's a recurring role. I had no idea what a recurring role was.
Right.
But, yeah. And the love was really there. I mean, everything that he did the, what was it? The other movie that, with the woman who, what's the other Martin
A
movie
Thin Line
that he did?
Between Love and Hate.
A Thin Line Between Love and Hate. Yes, I had a role in that as well. He called me out. They called me out for that. The role had to be cut out because he wound up getting sick. But yeah, so we, big kudos to Martin Lawrence.
When
Yeah.
when you get called back for that and you find out there's a recurring role, how much creative input did they give you, or did they just say, like, here's the lines, just go ahead and do it, or are you allowed to ad-lib with him?
Well, he was so funny, and he did so much ad-libbing. I was there watching. I couldn't believe what a superstar he was. I knew he was funny just from the comedic side, but not really the acting side. So just to see him never go off, he never went script to script. It was always adding something on to it. And I didn't know. Excuse me, I didn't know what lines I was supposed to say. I was like, wait. It's like, so cut, go again. Yo, come on. I'm like, okay. So I went from watching him as a fan to actually, creating the relationship.
Right.
So creating the relationship with Kilolo and Shanae.
Definitely.
So before I was just script to script.
Definitely some of the funniest scenes on that show were those scenes themselves. So really good stuff right there. Let's see. I'm just going through my notes here. I'm jumping around. You were also in Who's the Man? That was another good one.
That movie.
I was also in Grand Theft Auto.
Yes, you were.
Yeah,
I read that.
that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's for my generation right there. So.
See, that right there seems like it's the never-ending payday.
Yeah, for real.
Because
they paid you really good. Grand Theft Auto was really good, and I had no idea that it was as big as it was. I mean, well, now of course I do, but when Grand Theft Auto came out, I think that was the one I was on, was like one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, it was.
And,
yeah,
and a kid came up to me, was like, "Are you? What's my name?
Kendall.
Yeah.
Kendall
Yeah,
Johnson.
you Kendall? Yes, are you Kendall Johnson?" I was like, "No, I'm Yo-Yo." He was like, "Oh, you Kendall Johnson." I was like, Kilolo? And they were like, "No, Kendall. You played in Grand Theft Auto." I was like, "Really? You know my voice?"
That's awesome.
See that's what's great in that, like, you can have like a whole new generation that only knows you from that. So it's like it extends your career.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I was like, really? So I had to tell my agency, listen, we need to put that on my bio.
Yeah.
No,
Exactly. No, that's awesome. I mean, and then I think the game was on that as well, so you got to work with him. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Is definitely
Little
good
bit.
stuff. Definitely good stuff. So, let's let me ask you this. How is Yo-Yo from 1992 different than Yo-Yo from 2020? I mean, what kind of perspectives have changed?
Oh, I'm not pretentious. Growing up, I didn't know what to expect. I was very pretentious,
Mm-hmm.
I'm more matter of fact now, too real to be fake. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, I'm the same. I'm the same when it comes to politicking and women's lib and feminism and all that good stuff. I think now I'm just more. I know who I am. I live within my truth. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. I don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Something that was and because I was just watching last week, I was watching the Unsung with Roxanne Shante, and she was talking about when she put out Big Mama, and she was like she was taking shots, and then you were on there and you were saying you had no idea what was going on. You're like, what is she talking about? We were just like hanging out, and now she's like,
right. I was just ice skate with her and her kids at 75 Rockefeller Plaza. What the hell? She's telling me I'm fat now? What? And then apparently you guys talked. You called her up, and she said, Yes.
and she was like, this is hip hop. So when she explains it to you that way, how does that change your perspective on what you thought it was and what it actually is?
Well, because Roxanne she's one of the reasons why I became a rapper.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love to rap. I mean, her battle with UTFO and all of that, being the voice of reason for women. It was bomb for me. She was the first one to come out with that. And East Coast and West Coast was totally different when it came to that. We battled. A lot of my reason why I call myself the queen of the West Coast is because I battled them all.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, Threat, MC, you name them, I battled them. Jinx, even before I started working with Jinx. So when she said that, I said, oh, I get it, but I never thought it hit me like that. I'm fat? What the hell are you talking about? What's going on?
Yeah, it was just funny because your reaction on the when they did the vignette on the part of her Unsung, you're like, what the hell what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was like, wait, so this how you tell me how you really feel?
Luckily you were able to get in touch, and there wasn't like some kind of misinterpreted,
I got so many calls for so many days that I didn't know I didn't get in touch with her instant.
Uh-huh.
Right. So before, people call me, I'm like, I was trying. I was just like, before I say something out of character, I need to call this girl. Like, what the hell? And I was, when people would tell me about it, I was just tell them like, that's crazy on her end because we were just together. That shows you who she is,
Right. Right.
That shows you who she is because we were just together, ice skate. Me, her, and her son, and we went to lunch, and so. But then once I got in touch with her, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Okay, got it.
It's just a lesson on how this is just all entertainment. It's not,
Exactly.
It's not real beef. It's not like you scratched her car at the grocery store or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's just like, hey, just.
Well, 50 Cent was doing a lot of that at one time, so. So I was thinking, oh, she's just coming after 50, so I was thinking, okay, I didn't know we were back at it.
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Craziness. Go ahead, Ben.
I have a question. So how do you feel about the female artists of today, rappers that are out right now, underground or mainstream? Curious on your thoughts.
They popping. I love it.
Okay.
I love that they have a voice. I love the fact that, our generation of hip hop, are people who've paved the way, are not dead and gone or forgotten about. Also, because it gives them a little bit more hope or leeway. For a long time, I used to say my honest opinion about what I felt, and it didn't do anything but widen. Widen the gap between the relationship of artists who have been there to artists who are here now. So I've learned my lesson from that, so I have to figure out a way to be a big sister, be an auntie, love on them and not really diss them. because, men can do it. That's my whole thing. Men do it. They have, baseball team, owner of basketball teams, and, they can tell you I got 99 problems and a bitch ain't one. They can tell you how they want it.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
And still make it, So I think, of course, I'm sick of young girls coming up to me telling me they rap or they want to spit for me, and that's all they talking about is how good the D is and how much they want to get paid. That's a little boring now. I'm like, okay, can we get on to something else?
There's some popular female rappers who are out there doing that, so I'm curious then who your favorite, if you have a favorite or who your favorites are,
My favorite thought is Kai. Come out of the
Yeah.
My favorite thought is Cardi. No, not my favorite. I like all female rappers. I love Mew Mew Fresh. She's on stage a lot with Common. I love Rhapsody, of course.
Oh yes,
I love. There's some new up and coming artists. J.C. Carter. She's out of Oakland, and she's dope. Tyler Rain. We crowned her Princess of the City here in Los Angeles. Il Camille.
Yeah,
I love her.
She's
Il
really
Camille is really doing her thing. So we have a lot of up and coming artists who are really doing their thing and who are making a statement. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Ciroc?
Did someone send me that recently?
She's really strong. She's I believe out of Georgia.
I think somebody sent me that. Can you send it? Oh, what is it?
SA-Rock, ROC.
Oh I've heard her. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah,
She's
Roc's
really
real dope. But you know what? We got your new song. We're gonna jump into that in just a second. Let people know how they can get in touch and follow Yo-Yo on social media.
You can follow me at Yo-Yo Fearless on all social media sites. You can also download the new single. Oh, we've been getting thank you to everybody who's been downloading and adding it and playing it. I love all of the love. We've been receiving it, but I'm at Yo-Yo Fearless across the board. And, yeah, the new single is Out of Control.
There it is. We're going to jump into it. I really, really thank you for taking the time to call in tonight. It was an honor to have you on. And who knows what the future holds, but hopefully it holds another interview with you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you so much. Make sure you look out for me on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Season 7 is coming up. So, yeah, look out for me. Keep watching VH1. We got a legend in the house.
There it is.
Some real legends pop.
There it is. So let's get into it. This is Yo-Yo's latest. It's called Out of Control, featuring Tyler Rain, Brittany B, I believe, and
yes,
and
Tyler Rain.
Patient Picasso as well, right?
Yes.
All right, so let's jump into it. And once again, thanks for calling in tonight, and we'll talk to you soon, all right?
I appreciate the love. Thanks.
Okay, peace.
Thank you. Peace.
Peace.